Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar. So with that being said, let's just dive on in and let's start off with this tweet here from Hedera. So I think that it's safe to say that the marketing campaign and the community building has been paying off for Hedera. They have been heavily focused out on a lot of these great events, while again, interest around crypto is essentially dead. I've been outlining this quite a bit on the channel and even over on Twitter, because listen, at the end of the day, interest around crypto really is just flatlined. But that doesn't mean that these companies should stop holding these events and building the community. We know that Hedera just recently hit over 3,000 followers. They are nearly at 310,000 followers, which is very exciting. And they continue to hold these events and sponsor these events because at the end of the day, we already know that the future is Web3. I think that it's also safe to say that Hedera has become a pioneer around Web3 and Web3 technology. And when we look at this event, this is going to be a very exciting one to really kind of stay tuned for, because this is happening on October 16th. And we see a few things behind what this event is really kind of centered out on. Embark on an enlightening evening exploring Web3 and AI. The digital era showcases a clear fusion of decentralized tech and AI innovations. Our event dives deep into this intersection. Again, as we look at technology, everything is changing. I think that as we look at Hedera, one crucial thing to mention is how fast things can change. When we look at Hedera, and we specifically look at the last 2 years alone, there has been a lot of things that have happened. I know that everyone wants price action to be realized in, but you don't get price action without substance. You also don't get price action without, well, interest. Interest around crypto is gone, but substance has been brewing around Hedera for the last 2 years alone. I mean, the last 2 years has been nothing but update after update after update. And it's great because a lot of them are huge announcements regarding projects, building, things like that. And I think that now, as we look at Web3 and how things are changing, even Twitter, right? I understand it's X. I continue to call it Twitter because it is Twitter. We're kind of starting to see things change. What is that? Well, you can now monetize yourself on Twitter. This is not something new, but as we look at how things are changing, guess what? The creator economy is brewing. We're starting to kind of see power be given to those that are actually users instead of the power being in the hands of those that are actually running the platform. I think that this is a crucial thing to mention because this is kind of Web3 blossoming outside of Web 2. I also think that as we look at a few things changing around finance itself, one thing that we really kind of get caught up in is CBDCs, stablecoins, things like that, and of course even the cross-border payment sector, right? We've seen this post by GBB Council. This happened yesterday, or earlier today. We do see our member Hedera has announced that Stablecoin Studio is now accessible on the public Hedera network. Now, this is an announcement that we have been talking about for a little bit of time now, the Stablecoin Studio. What's interesting about this is that this is supported by Hedera Swirls Labs, Hbar Foundation, and ioBuilders. Why is this something interesting? When you read the breakdown, we see ioBuilders being mentioned. So for those that actually don't know, ioBuilders is a company centered out on blockchain and DLT applications. At ioBuilders, we're incredibly proud to be a key contributor to and user of the Stablecoin Studio codebase. Its transformative benefits hold immense potential and will unlock a spectrum of future use cases. ioBuilders is ready to guide organizations in tapping into Stablecoin Studio's potential, ensuring a seamless path to adoption and success. Outside of this, right, I'm sure that you are all aware of XRP. If you're, a holder of Hbar, you probably hold XRP, or maybe you even just do a little bit of research. It does not matter, right? Number one thing that I talk about a lot with XRP is the coming change around finance. The world outside of crypto is extremely inefficient. That is not me talking about the world in a negative way because I want crypto to be the future. No, crypto is the future simply because of what we are hearing and what we are seeing from the global financial leaders of the world. You don't have BlackRock talking about things that don't matter, right? I think that the last major bull run was a change of scenery for those that are actually out there in the traditional world, the incumbents, if you will. They also see the benefits. They also see how much this space has grown. Stablecoins alone, by the way, are a massive market. They've actually got a spotlight put on them by big bankers because of how much demand there is for stablecoins. I mean, listen, you could send a stablecoin globally, pay a fraction of a penny in fees, depending on the network, and guess what? They'll receive it essentially instantly. And we even see as the demand for public and private stablecoins increases, driven by companies looking to innovate and create new business models, making the technology simple to manage and deploy is critical to achieving adoption. Stablecoin Studio, and this is the big thing, with its modular plug and play framework, is a great solution for companies to rapidly deploy a feature-rich stablecoin solution. If you guys watch my XRP videos, the number one thing that I really kind of put a spotlight on is plug and play. Plug and play, plug and play, plug and play. Why is plug and play so crucial? Well, guess what? Companies don't want to rip and replace. They want to innovate at the easiest way possible. Plugging and playing? Well, guess what? Now they can rapidly deploy and innovate without having IT come in and giving them a massive bill, or they don't have to change anything. They don't have to learn code. They don't have to learn nothing. That's a big deal. And that's why this stablecoin initiative is huge. But outside of this, why am I so damn interested in it? Well, let's look further beyond this. ioBuilders, like I said, is a company that wants to inspire organizations to work across traditional boundaries, more so tapping into blockchain and DLT. Within this, we do see a blockchain technology company. They have 30 plus clients worldwide, they have 50 plus projects delivered, and they have 100 plus employees. Great company, right? Beyond this, right, we know that ioBuilders has been tied back to the GBB Council for a while. If you were around during 2021 into 2022, then you are probably aware of some of these screenshots that I have. I saved these screenshots because they are very significant. This is before ioBuilders even changed their overall design. They revamped their website since then, but it's still significant today. From the GBB Council's website, we do see the Debentures platform, CBDC as collateral and stablecoin usage. ioBuilders is collaborating on a project to explore the policy and regulatory implications of innovation in financial markets driven by DLT. In particular, the project aims to create a minimum viable product, MVP. And if we if we look to the right, marketplace to trade bonds on DLT using tokenized money. All industry participants will be able to trade these bonds using the platform stablecoin and managing the collateral with a wholesale CBDC or central bank issued digital currency. All of it powered by Hedera, DLT technology. By the way, if you scroll down, you can see the solution is currently focused on the following objectives. Definition of the functional requirements of a commercial to central bank tokenization process to enable retail and wholesale debenture investments to be implemented cross-chain and CBDC based. Definition and implementation of the integration with the central bank to manage the collateral of the stablecoin. Design of both the functional and technical architecture of the solution to be provided, including the integration with the Hedera consensus service, the token. Standards and also APIs for the different interfaces, development and implementation of the solution based on Hedera consensus service and the HTS service, including the testing and technical deployment of the platform. The final goal for this project is to fully understand the insights gained on several policy and regulatory challenges introduced by such innovation, along with promoting responsible innovation and providing regulatory clarity on financial technology innovation. And we look here, right? We have the investor, the bank, the platform, and the bank. We have the deposit to bank account. Collateral is minted in CBDC. Request to mint stablecoin, validation, and sign. Stablecoin is minted, and stablecoin is transferred to investor's account. And this is all centered out on Hedera. Now, like I said, If we actually look at ioBuilders website, a lot has changed since this, but again, it's really kind of still the same. We have digital assets and securities. We have CBDCs. We also have settlement platforms, enterprise network blueprinting. Then on the other sides here, we have corporate debt, smart escrow payments, smart legal contracts and notarization, consortium networks. And then on the last one here, we have building blocks. We create building blocks that help us build a base on which to construct and adapt solutions for our clients, facilitating development, work, and reducing project delivery times. And we have assets, payments, networks, data, regulation, blockchain tolling as well. Why am I talking about this? Well, because listen, as we see the world changing and as we see CBDCs becoming a talking point, and we even see stablecoins becoming a talking point, we don't know if CBDCs are going to be the big thing yet. A lot of people think that they are inevitable, including myself. I think that the central banks are already planning this. There's 93% of the central banks moving in on a CBDC. And if we do get CBDCs, then I do believe that Hedera, Ripple, and many other companies from this space will be a part of that initiative. Because again, a lot of these companies within crypto have the opportunity to actually adapt to the landscape. They don't really need to change too much because they are already here building. They already have the actual technology that these central banks want. And remember, central banks need DLT. If they just meant a CBDC, it's still going to have a lot of the problems tied to the traditional world. So they actually need a DLT, an efficient DLT underlying the foundation. Now, within this, the reason why I bring all of this up is because the Stablecoin Studio is very interesting because the timing of this being announced is right on par with a lot of the discussions around CBDCs and a lot of the pushback on CBDCs. Even if we don't get CBDCs, we'll probably still have stablecoins. Something has to change. We will see tokenization becoming a real thing. Tokenization has already caught on. We're starting to see a lot of tokenization of real estate actually already happening. And if we see stablecoins becoming a dominant force, this could very well be beneficial for all of these networks that are seeing major deployments. Hedera is a perfect network for stablecoin deployments because guess what? At the end of the day, what is Hedera? It is one of the most efficient networks within this space. Outside of this, though, we know that Hedera has been heavily focused on CBDCs. 7 months ago, we know on LinkedIn that offline is a must-have feature for any retail CBDC system. Offline works anytime, anywhere, and for everyone because currency is also a public good that should be available to all, especially to those most vulnerable. Hedera is proud to partner with IDEMIA on their mission to provide secure, customizable, and accessible solutions to central banks exploring CBDC, unlocking the potential of connected Web3 economies through inclusion, convenience, and of critical importance, the preservation of privacy. We also know that this is right on par with, well, guess what? The Web3 economy. This is why I say it's so crucial to mention, how big of an opportunity this actually is, because as we see the evolution of Web 2 to Web 3, I've talked about it many times, it could very well be a $100 trillion asset class in itself, because we look at Web 2, we look at Web 3, we also look at Web 1, right? It was a 7x in gain value. They're talking about Web 3 being over a $140 trillion market itself. So as we see things changing like this, it's big, right? Because this is talking about the change of money, new monies, if you will. Outside of this, we know that IDEMIA is a big player. If you actually look at their about section on their website, which I think everyone should be heavily focused out on a lot of these companies, these are companies that are unlocking the world, if you will. That's their overall mission. Now, that is a broad statement. How are they doing this? Well, they are talking about bringing in identity technologies, biometrics, utilizing cryptography, and also outside of this, you need to understand that these companies embracing technology and working with players like Hedera, which by the way, their top priority for central banks throughout the world is, expanding financial inclusion. They're talking about 1.7 billion people within this not having access to a bank account. They're tapping into that through these wallet solutions with Hedera and, again, IDEMIA. This is big because, again, they see the value and the trust behind Hedera for this. But like I said, as we look at IDEMIA, they are serving 600 plus governments, state and federal organizations, and 2,300 plus. Let me put this into perspective. 2,300 plus enterprise customers across the globe. For everyone out there that is celebrating the 20+ billion transactions on Hedera, yeah, guess what? That's one enterprise grade customer. 2,300 plus enterprise customers are served through IDEMIA. And they count on them to secure billions of essential interactions for payment connectivity, access control, identity, travel, and public security every single year. Like, think about that. Billions of essential interactions. You know what I see with this? Billions of transactions on Hedera. This is a big deal. This is why I say focus on the players that are adapting to this new world, this Web3 world. I know that we project it to be $140 trillion asset class in itself. It could very well be a lot larger than that because Web3, it's such a different world than Web 1 and Web 2. Because now, for the first time in history, we are changing the entire landscape of finance. We're changing everything. I keep saying, like, the last major innovation beyond just, oh, hey, look, it's a new UI. And when I say that, we're talking more so about Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. That's all it is hey, look, we put a great UI over top old traditional rails that are still settling in 3 to 5 days. Nothing's changing. It just looks a lot cooler. We're not in the digital age of finance yet. When we look at the last major change in finance, would you argue that it was the incorporation of credit and debit cards? Because if that is the case, that's back in the 1960s. That's how long it's been since we've seen a breakthrough innovation. I say these things take time because they do. ISO 20022, payment standard, we're now seeing it being adopted. 2004 when that got implemented. These things take time, but I do believe that Hedera is at the forefront of this major adoption. And guess what? When we look at Hedera, they've already made major strides within the stablecoin space, the CBDC space, and guess what? Now card payments. We know this from Token 2049, Singapore, where they unveiled the stablecoin initiative and how big the stablecoin initiative could be with FIS, with Hedera at the bottom point becoming a major leader within the tech stack. And guess what? Do you see that direct thing under the what could we expect? An end-to-end settlement stack that prepares for a potential world with, well, CBDCs. Whether it be CBDCs or stablecoins or maybe even both, Hedera is prepared for it. These companies, I see so many people saying, oh, well, these companies like Hedera and Ripple, they're, supporting these CBDCs. They're adapting. These companies want to be successful. The best way to be successful is adapting. And guess what? Every single global, organization, network, company, they all have to adapt as well. You probably heard the quote, banks need to adapt or they will die. That's true. They need to adapt to this new technology. Crypto, blockchain, DLT, it's the future. I don't need to tell you guys that though. All of you out there, if you have been following this space for a while, you know that crypto's the future. Hedera is a builder of the future. They are a key player with this. And this is why I'm so damn excited about this. Because I've been watching these companies build for so long. I don't care about price action today, next week, or next year. I know significant price action will come. I know the true value of some of these networks and these, tokens. And all I have to do is be patient. That's all I have to do. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.